he's aligning relationships on surface things
Yeah.
versus grounding them in the depths of our spirit.
That made me think about Kevin Samuels
Why? Why do you think about Kevin Samuels?
in terms of what I think I wasn't subscribed. So for the record, I wasn't one
I
of
was
his.
gonna say you better put a disclaimer quick.
I'm not one of his followers. But when I do talk to people that have been in tune with his messaging, it does seem from the outside he was trying to, I guess, what's the word? Balance out the criticism, kind of even the playing
Is
field.
that what he was trying to do?
In hindsight of men who, let me put this right. Black men, we are raised in a matriarch society.
You're not raised in a matriarchal society, though. That's
It-
false.
I mean,
Just
to
because you're raised by a woman doesn't mean you're raised in a matriarchal society.
in our community, I was raised by a single mother.
In a patriarchal society.
Okay, but in my experience, this is my experience.
No, but I'm telling you, like, your experience doesn't change the society that we're in.
Okay,
Even though you were raised by a woman, she's raising you within a patriarchal framework.
fair. Let me try to express.
Women aren't like she wasn't raising you within a space where women are leaders that are revered and like that you should aspire. Like, that's not what we're in.
I'm just laying up what I think these brothers are coming from.
Fair. Okay. Where you, okay.
It's not me. I'm not.
Okay.
And I think that
I despise them.
I think that those brothers who don't maybe have the strongest self-esteem or the strongest awareness of how to lead a woman in a healthy way, at times maybe felt pushed to the side, felt discredited because they didn't have a certain status. And I think with a guy like Kevin Samuels, they gravitated towards him because he was now holding women accountable more than we've ever really seen it. It wasn't delivered the best, but I can
That
only
is
from the outside look
completely
in.
false. That is, I'm going to have to go completely against that.
Okay. So why do you think people were listening?
I think people were listening to him because we're in a up society and he was confirmation bias for their uppery. That's why. The same reason that people are mad at me because I'm affirming a truth that's inconvenient to their right? So they're like, that bitch, she's making me feel some type of way. I don't want to feel some type of way. And who the is she to make me feel some type of way? But the way you feel that I'm making you feel is because it's a truth that you know. But you have to deal with it, and you're not ready to deal with it. Because if you deal with it, it's going to bring up a whole bunch of other shit probably that you have to deal with. And you don't necessarily have the support system around you or the tools to be able to do so. And that is the fault of our whole social network, right? But this idea of holding women accountable, to me, it's a false equivalency.
Because the reason why he came up is because you said that, and this is only me seeing clips, like highlights of his work.
Oh, I've seen a lot.
Okay. So you're probably more of an expert in this space than me. But it did seem like you were saying the thing of like women having these like crazy expectations that they don't necessarily apply to themselves. And it felt like he was trying to do the same thing from the clips I saw.
But the thing is that I'm basing that on value systems, integrity, right? Your ethics. He's basing that on materialism, on your outward appearance, and on status. So he was doing what I think is a very big disservice to folks because he's aligning relationships on surface things versus grounding them in the depths of our spirit. And those surface things that he was, basing things on ultimately end up being about greed and being about just things that don't carry you through when you really are dealing with life. Your looks, your money, your status. When your mom dies, What's that gonna like? It may mean that you can bury her in the coffin that you want. If your child is born with a disability, it may mean that you can get them the care that you want because you have some money, but
So talk to the lower frequency.
the high vibration is you. I'm emotional right now. The high vibration is you consistently challenging yourself to live in light. And all those things that he was talking about are not about that. It's not about that, because you want to be with somebody that loves what's inside of you. This is a shell. Like you want to be, and you want to be with friends. Like that's really what it is. But we are in a society that is so focused on this outward appearance, image appearance, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm in a business that's based on, right? Like in showbiz and Hollywood, like it's so much about like how you look. I remember Keenen Ivory Wayans, like on Last Comic Standing, like telling Aida Rodriguez that her yellow dress was distracting from her telling jokes. And I was like, that's a you problem, bruh. Like that's a you problem. She's being funny and you talking about a yellow dress because you're attracted to her and you can't hear her funniness over your dick.